This is for you, Kyle.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Stella.
Stella, get your groove back.
Okay. Now I see. Okay, now I'm on the right link here. What is up, bro?
Okay. Top of the chat with you.
You see it?
Oh, I see it. Oh no, I don't see it. I see on the YouTube page it says top chat, but nothing's no one's chatting there. What if I type in there? Hello.
Let's give it a test. See if it comes through. Oh, there it is.
Right.
Okay, we're on. Um, I think I.
Shout out to Stella. Sponsor me.
Oh, I gotta turn my volume off. Okay. Dude, how about that weather, man?
That shit ain't no joke. You see
It was.
did you see the tornado in Detroit?
No.
Yeah, that was crazy.
In March?
Right now, yeah, it just happened.
Hang on a sec, I'll be right back. Urban. What up? Urban says, what up?
What up, Herb?
Thanks for showing up. Admin
What up?
gang, wrench gang.
Shout out to Herb.
I think, was I on a different signal there for a second, Urban, or what? I mean, I don't. That was weird. All right, well, since you stopped smoking the backwoods, I'm gonna smoke one for you, bro.
Oh, there it is. Hey.
His grandpa's got the kids off at swim camp.
Every day I
Okay,
want to. Yesterday was my 200-day no weed, man.
no weed.
Crazy.
How's that
It's
working out
fucking.
for you?
I want to smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day. That was, my lifestyle growing up.
So yeah, we'll see if how many people roll in here. Is everything sounding pretty good there, Urban? Sound okay? Can you hear everybody? See if I can get oh, your name. Part of your name is blurred out. There he is.
I'll
Qtastic
be
in the studio. You're in a studio? All right.
the video's choppy. You see it?
Yeah. Let me see if I can change the resolution on that, cause oops. Now my mic's turned off. Oh, there we go.
It says probably the bit rate or something. Low
No,
resolution.
this is my first time doing a call like this, so everybody bear with me on this.
Bear with us,
Looks
please.
like we got 6 people.
Shout out to the 6 people in here.
Um,
What's up, chat? What's up, chat?
receive resolutions at 1080p.
Not even 4K in it,
It
brother.
doesn't even give me a send resolution of 1080. It only gives me 720. I don't know if you can see that, but
I did see that.
that's so weird.
Weird, weird, and weird.
All right.
Bear with us, buddies.
Well, that's as good as we're gonna get, man. Maybe it's just Google. But we got it working. Man, we were troubleshooting that thing last night for a while.
That was funny.
So, oh, we got 9 people now. All right. Maybe we'll break a record here. I think my record was like 17 already now.
Oh my God. Run it up, chat. Send this to all your friends, man. Good questioning. Questionnaires.
All right. So,
Shout out to MPC Guitar.
got a couple questions here for you. I'm actually gonna some of these questions I was gonna ask you, and I'm like, you know what? I could ask you for the whole crowd here. I mean, some technical questions about mixing and stuff, but you know, I've been recording a lot,
Okay.
and I want to release. Just on that note, you know, I've been thinking about should I. Okay, so I'm thinking about releasing on CD, baby, as an album. Should I release a single and then an album, or should I just? I don't know how that works. What do you think about that?
I mean, personally, I used to be like, yo, you gotta make a whole album and give it to the people, but now I'm like, you gotta test the waters. You know, you gotta give them a little bit of the cream. You know, before you give them the whole scoop. You know, it's like here's a little corn on the side. You know, before you get to the main. You know, steak. You know, and it's like test it out. Maybe they don't like that song and it's just that song, you know, and then you can just put out another song, see what they like, see what until you know you get your musical gains up, you know, then you can be like, oh, now the people really want something like 10 songs, you know, LP, EP or something that you can drop at once, and then they'll all, you know, dig into the full plate versus like, oh, you know, it's kind of cool. I'm kind of full already, you know what I mean? That's just me.
So, can you
Goes
like
all the way.
release an album and make one of the songs a single, or do you have to do them separately?
No, you could do that, yeah, for sure. But you know, I just think that it's better off to just keep feeding the crowd, you know, little pieces of what you are, you know, versus like bombarding them with like, you know what I'm saying, like 12 songs to fucking digest of an artist they really don't know or they're starting to get to know. It's like just keep them going on that one song. The one song is going, the more plays it's getting, the more streams it's getting. It's gonna add up to you, you know, and then you hit them with the EP or the LP.
Okay. So, what's the. I know I've asked you this a lot of times. What's the. What's the first step in that whole process? Okay, I know we talked about ASCAP and all this stuff. What's the very first step if you want to release a song? And then what are the next steps after that? I know that's
ASCAP, copyright registration, you know, and then to you know, your distro kids, your CD babies, your tune cores, wherever you choose your PRO to drop your song or whatever, then you know that's what I would suggest you doing. You know, getting your song cleared. I guess if you got samples in it, you know, the way they can't take it down when you don't have it cleared.
yeah. Oh, Urban saying the video's choppy. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah, I'm looking at it on the YouTube itself. It looks a little choppy for sure. Not where me and you are looking at it from, though.
I know. It's only in OBS.
You change the perspective though, like in there on the actual.
Oh, I can.
Change it to 720 and see how it is. Still a little choppy.
There it is. Well, let me try that. Change it to 720 instead of 1080.
No, I mean I changed it to 720 on YouTube and it's still choppy for sure.
Um, let's see if I receive at 720 if that changes anything. No. All right. Might have to do a different streaming service
And
next time.
see about it in YouTube though, not our.
Well, I can see it in OBS. It's going slow in OBS. You're just seeing what I'm seeing. So maybe I can check out my streaming.
Bear with us, guys. We're
Yeah.
new to this and true to this.
There's only three people, me, you, and Urban anyway. So
Damn, we
it
lost some
get,
people.
well, it just goes up and down, man. Depending on, it's Sunday. People are going kayaking or whatever, hiking. Maybe they're dodging a freaking tornado.
Yeah,
um,
tornado. Let's get to these questions, man. If
so
it's
yeah,
looking choppy,
um, so yeah, I guess one of my questions was like, what's your what was your first exposure to music? I mean, how did you even get like when you were a kid or what? How did that happen?
I mean, definitely my family listens to a lot of music, all different kinds of music. Um, but like I just remember as a kid, like all I could hear was like music in my head, like just melodies and just always humming and bopping around as a kid. And uh, when I was a little younger, maybe I don't know, high school or something, my homie was like, "Yo, I'm gonna make beats today," and I was already rapping and singing and shit as a young person. And my boy was like, I want to make some beats today," and I'm like, "You don't make fucking beats, you know?" And he's like, "Yo, you can get Funk Master Flex Music Generator 2 on PlayStation 2." And I went right down to EB Games, which is known as GameStop today. You know, and I ran down there and I picked up a used copy for $25. And I just fell in love with that thing. I had memory cards, like massive amounts of memory cards with beats on them. And people were like, "Yo, they're pretty good at this, man." And I was just making beats on this video game all day long. And my homie got me into Acid Pro 2.0. And I got a computer and I got Acid Pro 2.0. And then I got Reason 2.0 or 2.3 at the time. And started making beats and that stuff. And then everybody's like, or I started reading magazines about producing and seeing that everybody had an MPC and Pro Tools. And I'm like, what the hell is Pro Tools? Like, what's an MPC? I got those two things, man, and it was rap. It was a rap from there, man. Sampling and
So were you like
keyboard.
recording people on your computer? Like were you recording rappers and stuff when you were doing that?
Well, really just recording me and my rap group QS3. That's where the Q and Qtastic comes from.
Okay.
We would just sit in my house and record in the closet. Pause. But we'd be in the little studio in my 2 bedroom apartment, just fucking making records and little CDs for the streets of OC, and
Nice.
they they didn't cut the mold, and it just turned into Qtastic.
Do you still
Doing it all
have
by
those recordings?
No, I've
You
I've
don't?
lost hard. Oh, I wish I did. I've lost hard drives after hard drives being in this game. Hard drives are failed. They fail after a while.
Yeah.
You don't have rude, but you live and you learn, baby.
Yeah.
So,
So
but
then
that's how it.
so then you decided like at some point you were like so you got an MPC before you went to music school?
Yeah,
Okay. You got the 2000 XL?
2000 XO was the first one.
Huh.
Yeah.
And then so you were making beats and then how did you decide to go to music school?
Well, way before music school, it was like I'm making beats, and then I started kind of like going to other artists outside of my little rap group and branching out and trying to get them to get on my beats at the time and record at my little 2-bedroom house studio apartment or whatever. And it just turned into that to like I should start a studio, like so I can cater to all these people that I want to meet and make music for. And I got a little studio for about 3 months. Then the city kicked us out because I wasn't zoned right. The landlord just let us do whatever, but it wasn't zoned correctly. And then just idiot stuff. And then I got another studio that was zoned correctly. It's called Proline Music. Was the name of that studio, and we were around for a while. We recorded local bands, hip hop, R&B, pop, voiceovers. Uh, we did a thing with Toyota. Getting into that kind of commercial stuff. And
Huh.
that was fun. And then as all things, when you do business with your friends, kind of goes south a little bit. And that's when I was like, I need to go to recording school and like show my talent and really understand signal flow and compression and equalization, how to master, how to like, really do this stuff. But when I went to recording school, I had already had so much experience with recording techniques in my own recording studio and bands and things of that nature that I was like ahead of my class. Like while they're setting up like maybe 10 tracks or something, for the studio, I would have to like set up 100 tracks, fucking 14 buses and just different things. The teachers would be just laying all this hardcore stuff, on me to do versus, my classmates who were getting the easy tasks. But then I was like looking for the tricks, like where are the tricks in this, and I started like teaching my teachers stuff. And I thought this is a waste of money, low key, and they didn't really have me in the spotlight like I thought I would get from the school. It's like, oh, go apply at these studios and become an intern and go be a hopper and go get people food and get, it was just like, oh, dude, I could just start another studio and do this all by myself. I know how to do it, so
Huh.
I just did after school. After the studio, my second studio, I went to school. Is what it was. But like I said, I already had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours behind mixing, recording, mastering. I wasn't the best at that time, but I was doing a pretty good job for not being taught. I mean, but I also read a lot of recording technique books, compression books, those kind of things on my own. That I went to school because I thought there was like a secret, secret method to the madness. But it was like I already knew it all already. I don't know it all, but I knew a lot of the techniques that go into recording, and then I just jumped out, started another studio after recording school. I actually started like a mobile recording studio
Huh.
where I would just pull up to your house with like these gobos that were foldable and they would go in the back of my BMW 7 Series. Like it would go in the back and I can like, pull those out and freaking stand it up and get some what are those those mover blankets,
Yeah.
just set it up wherever you need it in your room, and bring my G5 Mac, a little Pro Tools rig, and I just record you. But after a while, I was like, that was boring. I need a real space, and that's what I did.
Well, you had the G5, yeah. I think I had a G4. I had the
I had,
G4 titanium.
yeah, I had the G4. I had the green one.
Yeah, it was like $3,000.
That was funny.
I
Like
remember
three.
because I was working like in the business of trees, right? And fuck, man, I walked in the Mac store and laid down like $3,000 cash, and they're like, "This fucking money smells like." like,
It was like reef.
like, where'd you get all this money?
Like only if you knew what I had to do to get this money.
I'm so bummed that hard drive crashed too. It's like all those mechanical hard drives never keep going.
Yeah, it sucks, man. I've had so many, at least over 20 hard drives that just went to shit over all these years. I still have a bunch of them actually, but they're all. If I wanted to get someone to pull their information, it would just be fragmented everywhere, and it'd be hard to put it all back together because of how Pro Tools, and if it was pictures or something, it would be a little easier to you know pull from. But since it's like audio files and stuff, it'll all just be one thing. That's a bust.
So is that here? Someone's saying my mic is low. Oh, oh shit, good old mix whiz. There we go. Is that better? No. Why is my output so low? Huh. I'm gonna turn off this fan real quick. Sorry, bear with me, guys.
You said the buffering.
Headband by Brian Lundeen. Is that better? I don't know. God, why is it registering negative 30?
In the ocean for sure. This homie said the hustle for sure. The hustle, brother. We've been hustling our whole lives.
Huh.
The game.
That's really weird. My Tascam is like registering. Is that better? Oh, okay. Thanks. Headband by Brian Lundeen. What's up, buddy? Thanks for tuning
What up?
in.
What up, chat?
We got producer Qtastic from Los Angeles in the building. I'm just asking him some questions that I could probably call him up on the phone, but we're testing out this thing, and he's helping me out here doing my live stream deal. And
Maybe one day it'll be you.
I might choose you know, I'll probably have to do Zoom next time or something because the video quality is terrible. We
We're
could do a
learning.
FaceTime. I don't know what the fuck was up with FaceTime, but whatever.
Yeah. FaceTime probably would have been better for sure, but we couldn't get that. Like,
Um, so you were at school, so they were like just teaching you how to wrap cables all organized and stuff.
the, the the most thing that I got out of recording school was signal flow. That was like the top thing that they talked about the whole time. It was like signal flow, signal flow. If you got to go from this section to this section, you got to know where it's going to. If you want to go into this compressor, you got to make sure it's from here to there. And I was like, okay, well, like, how do I make this compressor sound dope though? That's what I want to know.
Uh-huh.
I can cable's gonna go, buddy, but I want to know the compression and like how much compression and what the kind of EQ is. But in my experience, man, it's sound, bro. It's sound. Yeah, however you want it to sound should be how it should sound, dog. It don't matter, like, oh, this needs to be mixed better or mastered better. And that's another thing I want to talk to you about real quick on the mastering thing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I charged before I went to school. I charged many artists, like $500 back then, like per song to master your song. Like I'm gonna master your song, and when I went to school, they were like, "All right, so can you master one song?" And I raised my hand. I was like, "Yo," I was like, "Yeah, you can." And they're like, "Nope, cannot master one song. There's no such thing." Mastering was referred to as like the whole album, like two or more songs, because they have to sound similar from one to the other song, like from one to the next to the next to the next. And if it doesn't, that would mean that, hey, it just needs some better, some mastering so you can hear the volumes, the transients, and all that stuff happening at the time. But I just felt like that was a ripoff after I learned that, and I stopped really trying to do the whole I'm gonna master your song. But I get what a mastering for one song might be to somebody because they might have a crappy sound on a 2 track, and you might get the 2 track and then like go through, equalize it, maybe compress it to get a little more oomph out of it, or maybe take it down because it's too loud, and those kind of things. Yes, that can happen, but that's not really a mastering of
That's like more
a
like EQ, right?
compression, getting the levels correct, which is another form of mixing, and that's really what the song is. If it's all by itself, if you didn't mix the song correctly, then it's not going to bounce correctly. Doesn't mean you got to master it, like, putting some kind of mastering chain on it to be like, yo, this is the way to master a song. It's like that's
That's
not
kind of
true.
interesting now that you bring that up because Logic has AI mastering, but it only does it for one song, so it doesn't even make sense. You're right. It's more like it's just EQing it.
Yeah, it's like doing something that you couldn't do to hook it up and make it sound fat. And it's like if you know how to do that, you know what you're listening for. And like, yo, like, look, I'll show you this right here. Let me see if I can bring it up over here.
It does like micro EQs is what it does.
Let's over here real quick. They have this right here. This is a TC Electronics. Say hi.
Yeah.
The TC Electronics clarifying stereo like imager. And what I don't know why I can't like show you the cable won't go that far over, but like I use this because it uh it shows the reality of what's really going on in your speakers. It shows the real levels and the decibels that are happening. And if you monitor with that, it'll show you, or like if you go to like Apple or YouTube, they usually tell you the dBs that they want the song to kind of be at, and I think Apple's like 10 dB or, DPSs or whatever they're called. I always forget what the hell they're called. I always forget what they're called. It's right here. So let me see. The LUFS. Sorry. The LUFS, the LUPS. And that is like true to what it's supposed to be. So like I'll make sure all my songs are kind of in that level range, for the single. Now if you were like, hey man, I got this tape I'm gonna make, I'm gonna put all those songs in one session and kind of go through them and make sure they're all leveled the same, have some good EQ, even after they've been mastered or excuse me, mixed, but now they got to be mixed together. You know what I mean? From 1 to 10, it's got to sound the same, or it's going to be like, it's going to sound weird, So I try to do that. But like I said before, when we were talking about, releasing an album versus singles, it's like you might as well just keep hitting them with the singles until you need that mix, until you need that 10 to 12 songs or whatever, two plus, then you get them mastered together and you release it so people are enjoying that sound that you produce, as a producer, you know, like I said before, however you want it to sound should be the sound. It doesn't have to be someone's expertise saying, oh, well, it's gotta, it needs this. It's like, well, maybe I didn't want to put that in there, Maybe I just wanted to be flat the whole time. And that's what I'm experiencing with, experimenting with, excuse me, like fuck Prince guitar versus Eddie Van Halen's guitar versus Slash's guitar. They were different. They didn't sound the same.
Hmm.
You know, Eric Clapton's guitar, BB King's guitar, they didn't sound the same. They were on different presets of the foot pedals or type of guitar, Gibson, Fender, whatever they were using. They didn't sound the same. So that was what they chose to use. So it could be the same thing for your mixing capabilities. Just make it sound tight how you think it should be tight, but it should sound crispy, clear, vocally wise or whatever, and then go from there.
I get
You know,
frustrated with that because, like, when I'm mixing, the more I add stuff, like, it brings the master volume up, and I keep having to turn everything down. Is that where compression comes in? And
well, yeah, that's a good indicator too. Like if you have a good like limiter on your mastering, your master track. You know what I'm saying? Like that's cool to limit it and make sure where it's going. But as far as like so, for instance, if you have a lot of tracks and it's playing out of the master's gonna clip. You know what I mean? It's gonna clip because there's 10 things or 20 things playing out into that one track, so it's gonna be loud. And it's gonna show that it's clipping. But if you bring back some of your mix, like a lot of back in the day when I was younger, you would bring all the faders to the very bottom, at zero, and then you would start bringing them up a little bit, like each one a little bit here and there, and then you'd be watching that fader, like the master fader, so it's not clipping, but now they have all these limiters and stuff, so we can get the pump out of it, you know. But that's a good way to attack your mix is like bring them all the way down, and start bringing stuff up slowly, into the mix. Make sure you're watching those luffs, like we were talking about. You want to hit that 10 luff kind of area, starts getting to like 9, 8, it's freaking pretty. It's pretty clippy. It's pretty loud, But if you are, do whatever you want to do. I mean, there's some stuff that's so crazy. It's like some of these bands and stuff that are just ringing that crash or that hi hat or the electric guitar. That's a lot of high. It's a lot of high end stuff. So
but that still brings the dB up, even on the high end. That's what I get frustrated with, actually.
for sure.
Okay,
That's like it's gonna try to peak up there
okay.
versus like a kick.
So, like, I've
A
been
kick.
recording in, like, all my stuff. My gears, like, what my setup is like. But, like, all
Yeah.
my tracks are coming in, and I'm recording them. I'm like shooting for recording them in at like -2. I don't know if that's right or not.
I mean, like it's exactly what I was saying earlier. If it's right to you, then it's right to you, brother. You know what I mean? As long as it's not clipping, if it's not in the red,
Hmm.
then it's crispy. But you might want to go in the red for a specific kind of effect, on that distortion or that kind of screechy sound. That could be a thing as well too. But for me personally, I appreciate stuff kind of even lower on the low end. That way, like when you're putting compressors on, you're putting equalization on, you're adding more volume and more dBs to that specific sound. So like I like my sounds like kind of in the greenish yellowish part, like right before it's like not yellow, yellow, yellow right before red. It's more like green to the yellow right in the beginning, right there. Because then I have like so many more deep decibels that I can raise it up if I need to, signal wise, but I can control the volume of that signal with the fader, and I can do what I feel is what is necessary, in that position.
Hmm. So how you on the MPC tip, how you liking that new drum machine, the MPC XL?
Oh my gosh, man! It's definitely a learning curve compared to the live, compared to the regular X that I have, because there's so many buttons and I'm trying to familiarize myself with 3.0. I'm a 2.15 baby. Like I have a lot of years in 2.0 version, versus the 3.0. But like I was in 1.0 at one point in time when it first dropped. I was at 1.0 software with the Renaissance. and that took a lot to learn and figure out how the ins and outs, the presets, all those things, to get it to where I want to sound. I mean, these are definitely different than the vintage MPCs because there's so like it's kind of weird to explain to you because the older vintage NPCs, you would buy them because they could do certain things each individual one that the other one couldn't do. You know what I mean? It was like, oh, you got a 2500 because it has a CD drive, and it can do all this stuff. But you bought a 4000 because it had a CD drive, and you can record your vocals and all these, like all these things. It had an internal hard drive. It had all these things, had more power for you to process your audio through that drum machine. But now they're like super powerful together in the software that's built inside of them versus like, oh, this software is different in the 2500 versus the 3000 or the 2000 or the 4000 and the 5000, which you have. They're all different OSs. They're not the same, and really, in all these new NPCs, they have the same OS, but these new ones have different internals, which makes it the OS better in certain manners. Like, the XL is definitely more powerful than the Live 3, but the Live 3 is definitely way more powerful than the X. And the X was the top of the range back then, from 2017 and on. It was the top of the game because there was more outputs, there's more inputs, there's just more things that you can do on that MPC XL and not have the screen dive by clicking the little screen and doing stuff because all the buttons are right there. And now on the XL, the buttons are everywhere. So it's like I'm looking around all the time, like, where's that button at? Like, where's that one button I need?
It looks crazy.
That's fun to play on. Pause.
Yeah. So
But
I think I have compared the MPC Live 3 to the MPC X. I feel like the MPC Live 3 is louder.
wait, and then you see the chat, it says boost that mic again. Q is
I
louder.
know. I don't know what's up with my thing here. Does that sound better? Anybody? Oh, what's up with this here?
What did you say? He said,
See if I can get more output out of this thing.
or just higher in Q maybe. Sorry. I want you to hear me.
I think he's just hello, check. I think it's just because when I don't talk directly in the microphone.
Oh, I'll get you. All right.
Yeah,
But yeah,
because the SM7B is a finicky little guy here. Um,
that microphone, man.
I love it. Makes me sound like a real broadcaster, Qtastic.
Welcome to the island.
Welcome to the island, Donald. Oh, it's still quiet. I don't know what's up with this thing. It's like straight up stuck at -20.
Like I said, boys, chat, girls, if you're in there, we're trying our best,
We're
to
doing it.
learn. Yeah, facts.
My mic is weak, they're saying. Maybe I could turn this up a little bit. Maybe I check. No, it's stuck at 20. Like, it's not moving. Okay, let me try to fix this real quick.
Fix it, man.
There's like some limiter, maybe? No, what happened? I never even changed it.
That's crazy, man.
I'm gonna have to.
He said it's fine for me. Sounds good.
Sounds good. Oh.
Says
Okay.
your vlog now.
Okay, I think it just depends if I'm talking directly in the mic, but it is telling me that it's -20 and you're like at -13.
-13.
Why do you gotta be so negative? So you got the new XL. It's probably a learning curve. It looks insane.
Yeah, I gotta get you to come down here so we can make another video for your channel and do some tests, connect NPCs and synths. I don't know if you guys can see that I got some synths in the back, but that's what we want to do. We want to hook up the synths and because plugins are cool, but everybody's got the same plugins nowadays, and I'm trying to not have the same plugins as everybody else. Since
Yeah.
then, I get my sounds or an old sound. It's like, why do they make these machines today if they're not, if they're not capable? Why do I just have a bunch of plugins, but still make fucking $5,000, 8,000, what, $16,000 move one? Or no, actually, they just retired that keyboard now, so it's gonna be a classic.
Hmm.
But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there with the. It's the first
Excuse
time
me.
I've ever done a video call on a live stream. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's amazing
Yeah,
how far technology's come along. I mean, damn.
yeah,
It just
yeah.
happened like since COVID, like the streaming thing just went off.
Yeah, I'm glad I met you, man, because
Yeah.
stuff that I learned from you, and I want to get my own podcast and YouTube channel going myself. I've been doing this a long time. I remember when YouTube first came out. You know,
Yeah.
it was like I could have been a YouTuber back then. We were just thinking like this is kind of corny.
You'd be
You
making
know,
$1,000,000.
oh man, I would wish. I wish we can get to there, but you got to be a young cat, young kid, spending your whole life on YouTube. But we're trying to be in the studio. It's hard to think about the camera. When you're trying to make music.
So we met down in Malibu, man. I came down there and we were troubleshooting just some MIDI stuff and getting your drum machines connected together. And I
Yeah,
remember
at the
I was
time,
like, all you got to do is press all the buttons. And you're like, what? You're like, are you kidding me? I'm like, yeah, I just hit all the buttons, man. And but now you've moved on. You're over in Hollywood now, and you got a bigger studio. And what's up with the new studio? How's that going?
going great actually. It's going way better than Malibu. I mean, the fires of Malibu and stuff kind of set me back a little bit, but being in Hollywood, is right next to the town where the action is, where people are, tourists. Malibu was kind of a niche thing. It's like certain kind of people were going there, but I needed to be where the action is. For me, being Qtastic, the one, never the two. I had to, I had to be where the city is. And meet the city, the heart of the city. And try to get more music out there to the people. And the more people you have, the better off you are in this music industry. If you do everything by yourself, it's tough. It's a tough road. But Hollywood is doing me pretty well right now. So shout out
Nice.
to Hollywood.
It's cool. I've been there. It's really nice. I haven't seen it since it's all been set up, but I mean, you have
Yeah.
3 studio rooms?
Well, I have 2 studio rooms and 1 podcast room.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Just did our first test for podcast yesterday, and we're about to get that going. And we'll get you on my podcast. And what I mean, have a question with MPC and guitar.
Because
Talk
you
about
never
your
do anything halfway. Like, you're not satisfied until it's, like, totally perfect. I know that for sure.
guitar for sure. So I want it to be crispy at all times and every level, video wise and audio wise. But it's okay. We're in your room. We're both testing out this Google Meet thing and how it can go. But now I guess we got to figure out 4K. You know,
Yeah. I'm still on
I,
1080p, man. I don't know if I. Those files are really big, man. When you start recording 4K, they're huge.
yeah, for
They're like
sure.
triple or double at least. I can't remember, but I was recording
Four
4K. And,
times, sure.
oh, it's
Four
four
times.
times?
Yeah.
Oh,
8K is 4 times 4K.
that's so
So
nuts.
yeah, can't wait to get my first 8K TV when that comes down to the low level consumers. I remember when 4K was like the new hottest thing on TV. So let alone your iPhones are all walking around with 4K like it's nothing.
Hold on, let me ask Urban here. Okay, Urban says there's a way to send his video to your OBS. Okay, so Urban's the computer whiz. So he's
Shout
on
out to her.
Google Meet, right? We're doing this Google Meet, and it's perfect in our meeting, but it's going into OBS and it's kind of really low res, man. I don't know. You gonna come over? Okay. Oh, you down the street right now? All right.
Nice.
All right. He's the whiz, dude. He got me like.
You got your first stalker, brother.
It's a hardware issue, he says.
Gotta step up the mini Mac, huh?
Oh, not right now. Okay, well we'll figure it out later then. It's a good test though. I appreciate your help. It's like we got 7 people in the chat, which is 4 more than me and you and Urban. I haven't seen Chocolate Boy Swagger or Mike P or anybody, the normal people. I haven't streamed in a while though.
Shout out.
I had somebody in my family passed away a couple months ago, and I've been dealing with that, and like I have the studio anyway.
Peace, man. Peace.
What else was I gonna ask you? Okay, so that was the main thing I really wanted to ask you was about the ASCAP thing. So I got to start an ASCAP thing, and I got to start a BMI thing, and copyright before I release. I mean,
that's what you should do, but most people don't do the copyright part. Well, excuse me, because it costs a good quarter, a really nice quarter. But fuck it, man. Like, spend your money on your music, man, until it helps you get money.
It makes me wonder because I know when you upload to CD Baby, they add content ID to that, so I don't even know if anybody could steal it.
Well, that's a good point too, but there's a copyright, for a reason, It's always been there.
I guess like someone could remake your song and not get dinged for it, but they just can't reuse your song. They could totally steal the idea.
Yeah.
So
copyright, the only idea versus just being protected by CD Baby or DistroKid or TuneCore, doing whatever they do, but
yeah, the only reason I want to go with CD Baby is because it's just a one-time fee, and they take 9%. I don't see ever making gazillions anyway, so
you never know, but that might blow you up, brother.
Yeah. But I'm getting pretty close, man. I've got a bunch of songs recorded. I just got to do vocals and maybe get some musicians in here and stuff. And
keep doing what you do, man.
For a first album, maybe I'll use AI mastering. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if it's worth trying to master.
Try, it's just a try. But I would say like maybe master your song yourself to where you think sounds cool, and then send those same files, not the master version, but the same files to the AI and see if those two versions, which one sounds better to you,
So I should be getting Ozone.
I mean, yeah, for sure. Ozone's pretty nice, man.
Okay.
A plugin, but they also have like some really good, SPL mastering, compressors and EQs and better maker audio stuff that's thousands of dollars, and there's got to be a reason why there are thousands of dollars. It's like I have a Fusion here, and I paid freaking a grip for it, but you can get the plugin for like $300. It's the same thing apparently, but why don't they make a hardware version of it that's 4 or 5 times, 7 times the amount, whatever it is, it's like weird, But
Yeah.
you have an SSL 2 channel thing, don't you?
Yeah, that
Interface,
thing
right?
I got it for podcasting, but it didn't work out very well. I was having issues with that thing. I don't know if it was defective, but I couldn't return it. It's all good though. I don't know. I was thinking
Maybe,
about using it to plug into my MPC.
or maybe you can bring that over when you pull up to the studio, and we can take a look at it and see if it's defaulted or maybe it's just the way you had it set up.
Yeah. I was thinking
Where,
about using it to like plug into the MPC, but I already have 2 channels, so I don't even know if that would even make sense. I guess I could get more input volume out of it if I did that. Like use it
yeah,
as a preamp because it does. I mean, it sounded good. It has like a 4K emulator thing from the original console,
okay, yeah.
but
Yeah, SSL stuff is nice, man.
it's all right. You know, I got that Guitar Center thing. They gave me rewards, so I only spent like $100 on it.
Yeah, that's cool. It's a cool little entry level SSL, piece of gear.
But this
You know,
Tascam's been like pretty cool. The Tascam 12 is good. I like it.
yeah, I just saw the Tascam 24 Plus or something. It's new. I was looking at that. But I'm an Allen and Heath kind of person. You have an Allen and Heath, so you know what I mean. Allen and Heath mixers are freaking awesome.
I think I get a good sound out of it, man. It's definitely warm sounding out of the Allen and Heath mixer. I mean, definitely. It's weird because I don't know if someone says, okay, oh, Urban's got a dip. Okay, man. All right, peace out, Urban. Thanks for good looking out.
It's all Urban. Thanks for watching, man.
Um, when I record the 16 outs into Logic, I'm hearing it through the mixer, but when I play it in Logic, it sounds way brighter than what I actually heard. I don't know what that means.
Hmm. Maybe the conversion, of the audio to Logic, from that conversion, boost it up a little bit more. Once it process that audio, once you stop recording, you know.
It sounds more. It just sounds brighter. I don't know how to explain it.
Dingy.
It doesn't sound as analog once I play it back.
Yeah, find that.
But I'm
I
not
can,
monitoring Logic either. I'm only just listening to my mixers when I record it. So, but it
how's the
sounds good. Like I started recording those things in stereo, like you said, and it's been sounding really good. I'm
yeah, for
stoked on
sure.
it. It's
Stereo over everything.
the only thing now is like I'm running into, man, I can't believe it. Like my MPC X, um, the thumb drive I use for the MPC X is like full.
You just buy another one,
I
man.
don't know what the hell it's saving. Is it?
Drive out and put it in the computer and see what's on there.
I gotta get one of those hard drives like you got for the inside of the X.
Yeah, dog. SSD all the way.
Yeah.
Like $100. Gets you a terabyte.
Mm-hmm.
TB, dog.
Yep.
But yeah, man, I was gonna tell you about this time I was in the studio I worked at. It was called California Sound Studios, and I had just gotten a job there. And the lead engineer, he was trying to test out my skills, like to see where I was at. And he was recording these Asian mother and daughter. Well, it was really the daughter, but the mother she was there, and he was like, "All right, man, I want you to, even though you don't know what she's saying, I just want you to record and then just drop it down to the next track." And I'm like, "Okay, all right, like no problem," And he went off for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, or whatever, and I don't know what they were saying or whatever, but I just kept like, and then she would record, and then I would drop the track down, I'd play it back, and like, no, and I'd take it back up, save it in playlist, drop it back down. All right, it's good. Drop it to the next track. Same thing over and over and over. At the end of the session, the lead engineer, the guy who worked at the studio, he comes in the studio and like the mom, the Asian daughter, and the dad, they like started bowing to me, like sounds so good, like bowing to me, and I was just like, what? Like this is irregular to me. I don't know. I thought I was doing normal stuff, but they were like, I love this, like thank you, and I was like, that was cool,
Nice.
cool time in my career where somebody bowed to me. I had these Hawaiian people one time do the same thing down there. Like I went to the bathroom and I came back and they were like freaking cheering for me. And the dude gave me an extra $200 as a tip, and I was just like, "Yo, what? Like,
Yeah.
sounds crazy, Qtastic." And they were like all wearing these Hawaiian clothes, and they were like all clapping for me. Where I like walked right back in the studio, and I was like feeling awkward. You know what I mean? It's like this is
So
strange,
that was
but
the first studio that you worked at?
yeah, that was the very first studio that I worked at. That wasn't my own studio. It was California Sound Studios. Shout out to Nathan Wright. That guy taught me a lot of stuff as well. How to really work a studio and how to bring people in. And learned a lot through that dude. You know what I mean? But they're no longer in business anymore. I don't know where they're at now today, 2024, six. Excuse me. But shout out to them, man. They taught me a lot. His dad was the famous Frank Wright from the band Chicago.
Really?
You know, so I learned a lot from Frank Wright as well. As far as mixing techniques, and he used to record all their stuff. He was like their sound engineer as well. But
Oh, wow.
I learned a lot of stuff from Mr. Frank Wright. Rest in peace, Frank Wright. You know, and his son Jesse Wright was freaking amazing at recording. He was the head engineer. Matter of fact, he's the guy that was the head engineer at the studio with the Asian family.
Hmm.
Way and let me take the lead on that session, and tested me out, and I did my thing.
Then you moved over to another studio?
Yeah, that's when I actually well, by the time they were closed or whatever, I went to downtown LA and did my thing.
Okay.
I went to do my own thing because I lived in Orange County, and I did the Orange County studio thing for a long time, top of the game in OC, but I had to I had to make that move to LA. Shout out to my homie Amy Gangster. She's the one that told me you need to go to LA. You need to go to LA. So I went to LA, and here I am today.
Scientific Mystic, what's up, man?
What up, brother?
We got Qtastic on the live stream. It's kind of a gritty video, but the sound's coming through pretty good. We'll get it figured out for next time.
Yeah, test run, but
So,
live.
but then you said, okay, you told me a while back that you worked with a guy that you guys were doing like factory sampling.
Oh yeah, that was like when I worked with this dude named Lou Dog from 17th Street Recording Studios down in Costa Mesa, California. Shout out to Lou Dog, my dog. That's my mentor, always, forever. And shout out to Onik, his business partner. Those guys are really dope down there. They just did a lot of things. And like when I interned at that studio before, like I really had my own studio at that point as well. This is like when I was in the 2-bedroom apartment studio, back in the day. He would just go, hey man, sit here with this MPC 3000. Here's the SP 1200, record player, and I want you to sample anything and everything off of this off these records. And he would just sit there all day and just sample, save, sample, save, sample, save. I wouldn't even chop or anything. I would just sample parts that I thought were. He's like, sample whatever you think is cool. And
Whoa.
pull all these cool records, these rock records, these take the kicks, the snares, just name them, just put them in the MPC and make a disc, floppy disk, and he would do his own thing on them. But shout out to Lou Dog. He's one of the producers of Sublime. I'm sure you know what Sublime is.
Mm-hmm.
That hip hop West Coast reggae kind of surfer sound. He's like the guy who helped dub that in there. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot from that dude behind Pro Tools. Before I went to school or anything, I would just watch this guy go ham in Pro Tools, and I'm like, I gotta be that fast, and I'm pretty freaking fast in Pro Tools. One
So
of the
you
fastest.
said like also you said like you would sample him playing, right?
Oh yeah, same thing. Like them, they would just be jamming and just be like, I'd be in there just recording all this stuff, and it's just it's just like the perfect gig to understand how to record live instrumentation, records, vocals, and put it to the MPC pads or have some kind of MPC workflow, from recording and sampling, sampling live, which would really just be recording, and then just putting it to a pad, and making your own kit or your own bank,
So you
and
had so they were jamming and then you were like sampling them directly in the drum machine?
no, not really directly into the drum machine, but just like recording and then bouncing that down and then putting it to the pad, you know.
Yeah, it's so crazy now because you can just like record it into a WAV file and then drag it onto a thumb drive and put it right in your MPC, right? So
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's crazy because you can literally just record it in your MPC, like
yeah, yeah, that too. Yeah.
connect a couple mics and at least get a stereo set of mics. If you're recording drums or band, just record two tracks. You know what I mean?
So Scientific Mystic says Sublime, and you know because of KRS-One.
Yeah, KRS-One was one of the goats as well.
Yeah.
Sure. Shout out KRS-One, Sublime.
Were
Rest
you
in
saying like
peace.
you were in the studio with Wiz Khalifa too at some point?
Yeah, for sure. I've been in the studio with a lot of people, man.
Okay.
Lots and lots. I'm not trying to name drop them all, but been in the
No,
studio
I'm
with
just
Wiz.
asking you because I'm just trying to think of stories you told me already. But
No, that was
um,
that was Wiz Khalifa for sure, man. Like he, I thought, I thought he, I mean, when I used to smoke a lot of nuggies every day, I thought like I was gonna get like smoked out by him, but I was like smoking blunts and papers because he don't smoke blunts, but I was just smoking blunts and papers, and then like I was in the studio with Warren G and him, and he he passed out on the couch, and I remember Warren G just going like, "No one can smoke with the big dog," and like he was just passed out, like I was like, "I got him," you know. Let me smoke out of his dab rig that is the Chuck Taylor. He had a Chuck Taylor dab rig, the shoe, the Converse Chuck Taylor.
oh yeah.
Dab. I coughed so hard, but I still took another rip. Like I was like, I'll take a dabs make my lungs like I have like 80-year-old lungs. You know, I think I'm gonna cough for sure. But I didn't go to sleep. I was awake the whole time. But it was awesome, man. It was really awesome session that I had with them.
So did like when you were recording with those guys, like you were talking about, you were sampling these guys jamming. Like, did they ever use those on recordings and stuff? Like any samples that you know of, or
I don't know, man.
they got
Like I
tweaked
said,
so much that you probably couldn't tell?
so much. Well, they got so many things going on, and like recording their own songs and their own stuff that who knows what they sampled or used from all just the sampling that I did for them. I don't even know, but it was like my start of my start. It's like I really got to sit in a real studio and not like my bedroom studio with some little Pro Tools rack and a couple keyboards versus like having a full studio to my every dream, you know, I could do whatever, you know. It was like when we had thousands of records, like in a record room, and I could just pick whatever one I thought and put on the Technique 1200, just play, you know. And it was freaking amazing. I loved it.
So you actually never had a regular job?
No, of course I've had a regular job for
Oh,
sure, you know,
okay.
but I haven't had a job in over 20 years, so that's for sure. For sure, way over 20 years.
That's pretty amazing. There's not a lot of people that can say that. I know that for sure.
Yeah, for sure. You know, shout out to the Lord. He got my back. You know. But I'm also the starving artist, starving producer. You know, like struggling. You know, is part of the DNA as being an artist. You know, how bad do you really want it? You know, is how far you're gonna go. You know,
Mm-hmm.
some people can go do a 9 to 5 and still make it in the game, or some people will give up everything just to be in the limelight. You know, so I've sacrificed a lot to be where I'm at. You know what I mean? And shout out to Jesus. You know the Lord. He got my back, and you know what I mean. I'm going to the top, straight up. He introduced me to you, and here we are on the live doing big things. You know, even
Yeah,
though our
man.
video.
It's been fun, man. I love coming down there and hanging out at the studio. It's just like so much fun to me.
Yeah, for sure. You
And
know.
I feel like I'm kind of winning the game because, people live in LA and they work and they try to buy a house out of town away from the city, but I'm doing it backwards. I'm trying to get in the city and
Get back. Yeah, for sure.
that'd be so cool. That'd be so awesome if I could have a condo down there and like pull in the garage.
Yeah, man. Make a little mini video in the condo, dog, for sure. You
Hopefully
know.
we'll get there. Hopefully we'll get
Yeah.
there, man.
If I make it, you make it, brother.
Yeah, so well, what are you working on now? What's the projects you got going?
Man, I'm just like recording a lot of local artists, vibing out, making beats like this. So
That sounded
that
pretty
was
good
on.
actually coming through the speaker, whatever you're recording it on too.
Yeah, that's coming through the iPhone. That's crazy, right?
Oh, it is?
Uh, yeah, but that was from the Live 3. Sample based beat. Some 808 kicks. And sample from Aretha Franklin. Or excuse me, not Aretha Franklin. Anita Baker.
Oh,
Excuse me,
damn.
the Baker. Nobody gives her flowers. Shout out Anita Baker. If we can make that poppin', then she gonna get her bread. She clears our sample. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But but yeah, man. It's been a blessing, man, doing this music stuff, and
But you're working with some rappers and stuff. You mainly record rappers.
what they saying in the chase is sounding strong. Dang, MPCU.
He's saying I should be singing on that one.
but
Boy, yo, boy,
you
yo,
said,
boy, boy, yo, yo, yo.
but what were you saying before I
Oh,
read that chat?
you're working you mostly record hip hop like during your work time. Like you record vocalists.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's what I do for a living. Like
Yeah.
so, but like that's another thing that I kind of understood about this music game. Of who you're gonna meet. You know what I mean? Like a lot of producers are making all these beats and they're like sending packs out to everybody and doing this stuff, but they're not really having the sound to their recordings or whoever's recording that person on their song. And I learned early on that like if I record people, right, they might come in with their own music, whether it be pop artist, rapper, trapper, R&B or whatever, but I just have to be able to ready to cater to that person's style and they might come in with their own music, and then let's say a month later they come back in and I play this beat, and they're like, "Oh man, Q, what is that?" And I'm like, "Dude, I need some money for that beat, though. Like I need money, you know." And I'll just produce that record for you as an artist that you go outside and promote my music, and it'll be a recording versus like a beat. You get what I'm saying? Like now it's a recorded song, and I got a song in my catalog versus a bunch of beats, in which I have a lot of beats, but I also have a lot of songs that I've recorded with people. As a producer goes, I'm not just a beat maker. I'm not just an engineer. As my boy BD would say, I'm highly glorified engineer because I work with sound, and I'll try to get whatever kind of sound I can, even if you're like, bring your guitar in or something, dude. Like I'll try to fit whatever around that, whether it be the beat or the vocals. Like we're gonna figure out, and like I said, and I write, sing, like I said, I rap, but I don't rap on the record. Like I'm trying to be a rapper. It's just I've been doing this so long, been around every kind of style there could ever have ever been, every pattern, and I just try to help you come up with that, whatever's needed for the track.
Yeah, I've definitely like I appreciate that about you because you're inspirational to everybody. I know you can like bring a certain side of things out of people. Like I've seen you in action, and
Yeah,
even with me,
for sure.
you're very inspirational and you're like super neutral when it
Thank you for
comes
that,
to
bro.
like artists.
Yeah,
I just you definitely brought a lot of sides out of me that I wouldn't think of. I mean, I've ran ideas by you, and you're like, "No, you need to do this and that," but you're super neutral about how you explain it and stuff. So
yeah.
I just think that's really cool, and
Just way to get to it,
that was
get your idea.
interesting. That one time I was down there, it was a couple times ago, but yeah, Melman just like pulled up with that one
Mellow man,
guy, or no, not Melman. What was his name?
mellow man.
Mellow Man Ace. That's right.
Yeah. Shout out to mellow man.
And I was like, it was just cool to watch that. You were like ready to go. You didn't even. He was just there, and he's like, "Hey, I want to
Yeah.
record this," and you're like, "Okay, let's do it." And
Done,
yeah,
done.
it was a Cash Money. That was pretty awesome to see that in action.
That was funny. We were trying to make a new video for our own little thing, and he pops up.
Yeah, that
Said,
was cool. Oh, that's when you got the live 3.
that's a, that's right when I got the live too. It's like
Mm-hmm.
right then and there, you showed up. You
Yeah.
got your live ordered that same day. That was sick.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're on the on the big dog. We're on the XL.
Yeah, I'm not
So
there yet. I'm gonna have to wait for the used price to come way down, but that's just where I'm at right now.
you'll get one, buddy. I know you will. So you'll sell a cool beat.
Yeah.
You'll cool YouTube link or something will happen in your world where cash will come in and you'll get the MPC like me. I'm sure you'll get it right after you come down here and we start jamming on it. You're gonna be like, damn, this thing is fucking me. I remember when you didn't even want to get the live three until you pulled up to my like, nah, dog, I'm cool with the X. And then you're like, whoa, this thing is beastly. Ordered the very next day. That was tight.
I was like
Um,
watching you like walking around playing it, and I was like, God, that's crazy, man. With like all the
yeah,
lights on the buttons, I was just like,
making beats in Nobu and shit.
yeah, that was pretty funny. That was pretty funny when we did that video.
First person to make a beat at Nobu, Malibu.
Yep, ever.
Go to all the Nobus in California. Make a beat every one. He's the first every Nobu in the world. Gotta go to China, Japan, Miami.
All right, well, we've been
Right?
at this for like an hour and a half here, but I think I got to go hit the head actually.
Yeah, brother. I think we did our
So,
thing, man.
hey, thanks
Shout
for
out to
coming. Thanks for bearing with me and helping me troubleshoot this thing.
No worries, man. Shout out to MPC and Guitar, man. Good guy. You guys like, subscribe, follow for sure. My boy, he's doing his thing right now, man. I'm proud of him.
Oh, thanks,
for sure.
man. Thanks.
I'm doing his thing.
And I'll be down there soon, man. We'll do this podcast thing and we'll just mess around with some MPCs like usual, dude. It'll be awesome.
We in there, brother.
All right, man. Peace out. Thank you.
Shout out to everyone in the chat for showing some love on some technical support and good questioning. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks to everybody. Thanks to everybody.
Qtastic or at the Woodshop Universal. Those are I'm gonna put it in the chat before I leave actually.
Oh, Instagram at Qtastic.
IG. Who's that? Qtastic. Shift at Woodshop Universal.
I'll be right back in 1 second. Hold
on. All right. We'll hold it down for the chat. Hold it down for the chat. There it is. At Qtastic and at Woodshop Universal, guys. We're gonna go from there. But for sure, I appreciate you guys in this chat down here. Has anyone ever sampled the boing of a doorstop? Oh man, I'm sure someone has, man. That's funny. Mattel Kyle. That's funny as hell. Hey Kyle.
All right.
Hey, you see what this dude said? He said, anyone ever sampled the boing of a doorstop?
I don't think so. I don't know.
I was sure someone's like boing. Sampled it up crazy and pitched it down or whatever. I watched a guy on Fruity Loops make an 808 out of just touching the end of the headphone jack.
Yeah.
From and he transformed it into like an 808. It's like boom, 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 boom. And I was like, that's kind of trippy. But I already got a bunch of 808s. I don't need to do that gimmicky shit,
Yeah, you got a lot of samples, huh?
A lot of samples, dog, for sure. I used to have the real 808 back in the day. I wish I never sold that thing for $1,500. Things are worth like $8,000, $10,000 right now.
Oh, wow.
I never sold that thing.
Oh, you actually had the drum machine?
Yeah.
Damn.
Rolling 808. Sold it on eBay for fucking $1,500 in 2008. Years later, it's worth 10 fucking grand, 8 grand. It's crazy.
That's why I don't sell my 2000 XL, because I know
prices are gonna go up in 20 years, dog. For
this
sure.
Inflation, even I don't know if it's still not worth what I paid for it, because the 2000 XL I paid $2,500 brand new, and then had 4-at upgraded for $500. So it's not. When it hits through.
Shout out to 4-at, yo.
Yeah, Bruce 4-at's the man.
He is the man. I've been knowing him for years, taking my drum machine, get serviced from hitting the pads too hard or getting upgrades, 8-outs, PCIe cards or whatever, RAM, that kind of shit. But yeah, man. Thanks for having me on today, Kyle.
All right, brother.
You guys add me.
At Qtastic.
Or the Woodshop Universal.
Woodshop Universal. Yep, you guys got a new IG going too, huh?
Well, I mean, that's the studio's page. I've been on the studio page, but
yeah.
I just changed the name every time I moved to a different city or something. It was Woodshop DTLA when I was downtown, and it went to Malibu Sound Studios when I moved to Malibu, and then now I'm back in the heart of the city. I went back to the Woodshop in Universal.
Malibu Studio was freaking awesome, dude.
Yeah, it was.
It was really cool.
It was just far away from everybody. Nobody wanted to go that far out.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
The pizza place, dude.
It was the best. Italian
Diamores.
boys. Shout out to Diamores, yo. You got the pizza on lock, yo.
All right, man. Well, you have a great day, bro.
Yeah, man, for
Go
sure.
enjoy this weather.
Yeah, this wind.
Oh, you got wind?
Yeah, it's windy down here.
It's like 80 degrees right here right now. I just went outside.
Nice out here, but it's windy.
All right, well, it's blowing all that smog out of there.
Yeah, sure. Let's go. All right, y'all. Be safe.
Okay,
Thanks
man.
again for the opportunity, Kyle.
All right, man. Peace out. We'll see you next time, bro.